Welcome to PAR Podcast, episode 75.31. PAR Podcast is an audio supplement for Public Administration Review, the premier professional journal in the field of public administration. This year, 2015, PAR celebrates 75 years of furthering public administration research, theory, and practice. This episode features comments by Linda Williams, an assistant professor in the School of Public Affairs at Arizona State University. Professor Williams discusses her article titled Beyond Enforcement, Welcomeness, Local Law Enforcement, and Immigrants. This article is currently available on Early View and will be printed in Public Administration Review, Issue 75, Volume 3.
I'm Linda Williams, an assistant professor at Arizona State University. My upcoming article in Public Administration Review is titled Beyond Enforcement, Welcomeness, Local Law Enforcement, and Immigrants. This research looks at the range of practices of local police departments towards immigrants and describe how much local police departments have adopted what I call welcoming practices. This study introduces the concept of welcomeness, which is the degree to which administrative practices vary from excluding immigrants to helping immigrants integrate into the community. Welcoming practices help immigrants positively interact with and access the department's services and information. This concept of welcomeness builds on research by scholars such as Joe Sauce, Chuck App, and Tom Tyler that shows that the administration of law and policy varies towards subordinate and marginalized groups. And these variations affect how people understand their place in society. Differences in the degree of welcomeness of local agencies towards immigrants may very well affect how immigrants perceive government and their place in society and the community. So the key question is, how much and how do local administrative practices vary from unwelcoming to welcoming towards immigrants? The data that I use came from an original survey conducted in 2012 of police chiefs in cities with a population of at least 10,000 people and a foreign-born population of at least 5%, and also with interviews in police departments in 9 communities. The dimensions that I will discuss next were combined into a single additive index of welcomeness. So welcomeness for police departments is comprised of 5 dimensions with multiple measures, and these were developed based on scholarly research, practitioner research, as well as the interviews that I did with police chiefs prior to the survey, and then they were also validated in interviews post-survey. The dimensions are designed to plumb the extent to which the department practices help to reach out and assist immigrants to integrate into the community or excludes them. The dimensions are in-language resources, so non-English language resources available, outreach efforts to immigrants in their community, the extent to which the department collaborates with other agencies specifically regarding immigrants and immigrant groups, staff training to help frontline officers interact more effectively with immigrants, and then finally immigration enforcement efforts. I categorize departments as unwelcoming, neutral, and welcoming. And what I find is that these 3 categories look very different, especially the difference between unwelcoming departments and welcoming departments. And this really holds true across all of those dimensions. So, for example, no welcoming departments have information on their website in a language other than English, while 61% of welcoming departments do. Another example is that only 3% of unwelcoming departments used feedback from immigrant leaders or immigrant groups to help develop their policing strategies, while 72% of welcoming departments do. So these welcoming practices, they're more than neutral. They show that many police departments have made a conscious and an intentional decision to develop practices to help build positive, productive relationships between the police and immigrants, and ideally to encourage immigrants to call the police for assistance and to assist the police when they are witnesses. This research is important because in the United States, integrating immigrants into the community is primarily done at the state and the local level. Local administrative agencies such as the police then often respond more positively towards immigrants than elected officials do, and these local public agencies often help immigrants integrate into the community. This research builds on other research regarding the effect of administrative systems on marginalized groups and on research into bureaucratic incorporation of immigrants. It also provides a framework for police departments to assess their practices and provides a potential model for police departments who, in many cases, are trying to engage positively with immigrants. I hope that you take a little time and review this article. Thank you.
This concludes PAR Podcast, episode 75.31. To listen to additional episodes and learn more about Public Administration Review, please visit us online at publicadministrationreview.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at PA Review. Thanks for listening.